in this example, we are given the following polar point, and we are asked to give two other polar points that represent this after graphing it. So, since this is given to me in polar coordinates, I'm actually going to use a polar graph to graph this. So, what do I mean by that? Well, I mean I'm going to have concentric circles all representing the correct radii, or the current radius. I'm going to graph on this. Okay, there we go. I'll use a different color for clarity. So, -4, -210. Well, first of all, I note that -4 means that wherever I go in terms of angle, I'm going to point in the opposite direction. So first of all, -210, well, I would go around this way. This would be 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees. Oops, I went too far. Let's go back. 180. How do I get to 210? Well, I go 30 more. So that would be about here. Highlight that. It'd be about there. However, because it's -4, this is actually going to point in the complete opposite direction. So over here. There we go. And if I call this point P, there is point P. Now, how can I represent this other ways? Well, first of all, you may notice that looking at this, you can see quite quickly that if I just make this a +4 and then go down, I can see that rather than going all the way around to 210, this is really just go down 30 degrees. Now, how do I know it's 30 degrees? Well, because up here, to go from 180 to this, I went 30 more degrees. So this is 30 degrees down from here. So I can do 4 -30 degrees. This would be another point. Now, another thing I can do while keeping the r positive is I can rotate all the way around to here. And you may think, oh, it's +210. Well, maybe, but not necessarily. Let's see what it actually is. So I go all the way around here, 90, 180, 270. And now I need to go a bit further. Well, this was 30 degrees here. And if you remember, the whole way around would be 360. It's like I'm 30 degrees short of 360. So I can just subtract, giving me 330 degrees. So there's another point. Now the question only asked for 2, but I'm going to give at least one more here. I'm going to give another one with a -4 as the answer. So now I want to wind up over here since I'm going to point the other direction, but instead of going all the way around this way, I'll go up around this way. So this would go 90 degrees, and then, well, to go to 180 would be too far. In fact, how much too far? 30 degrees too far. So I can just think that way. 180 minus 30 gives me 150 degrees. So another way to write this is -4, 150 degrees. So there we go. If you are given this polar point or a polar coordinate, keep in mind there are always multiple ways to represent that, depending on whether you want the r to be positive or negative or the theta to be positive or negative, independent of each other. And that is this example.